Dan Williams, Survive Outdoors, with the mosquito-laden forest here. So this evening we're going to talk about, which I've addressed somewhat in the past, what happens if you injure your arm or your hand in the woods, hiking, hunting, backpacking, and you're left with the use of only one hand. We're going to show you some tips and tricks on what you can do and how you can get around that and get back safely or get help. So here we go. There's tons of material and tons of new merchandise that can be used these days and are fitted for the ability to use it with one hand. The Leatherman Free P4 is one of those. And what's really nice about this, it's basically is attached with magnets. It's very easy to close and open with one hand. And all of the tools are external on the Leatherman Free P4. So I can open these easily with one hand, everything on here, and close on the outside. Even the smaller blades in here, we have, you can basically open those up, your can opener, your screwdriver, all of that you can open and close with one hand, and they're all on the outside. Has a great blade, and I can't tell you how, even the scissors, you can definitely, everything on the outside is one hand. It has a clip, and the pliers the same way. You can definitely open this. This is a great piece of equipment. And when people get injured by falling on rocks or, God forbid, out of a deer stand, majority of the times they're going to injure their dominant hand or wrist, because that's what we're going to put out first. So I always encourage people when I teach classes on this to, try to prepare and practice by using your non-dominant hand. You got to practice both ways. So the Leatherman Free P4, fantastic piece of equipment. In my opinion, it is the best Leatherman out there. So I've talked about jackets and coats. I have a spring jacket that you've seen. This is Browning. I've had this for a long time. And again, with coats, I always try to get something that has more than one closure. It has a zipper, but this also has buttons. Sometimes they have some with Velcro. And if you have the buttons, you can definitely do this with one hand. And you always want to think about that, again, because if you get injured, you want to close this up, decrease your chances of hypothermia, and get a coat, something with either Velcro, buttons, zippers, something like that, or snaps like this has. So starting a fire with one hand is a little more difficult. And they do make something called a blast match, and that it's a ferro rod you can use with one hand. But if you don't want to spend the money on that and you already have the equipment, you got to think outside the box. These little containers are about 90 cents. I never screw it on really tight just in case, God forbid, something like that would happen. I take that off, take my Leatherman. We're going to take a piece of the cotton ball out, and we're going to put that on a log or whatever you're going to get ready to start your fire on. And these are the ones that are saturated with Vaseline. So you grab your duct tape, just get that started. And what this is the strike force. And I set this on here like that. Then I'm going to take my duct tape and peel me off some of that. And you can see it is not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it can be done. You're going to take this duct tape and you're going to cut it. And then once you have it cut, plaster that on your log. You could also take your foot and press on this ferro rod. And hopefully this puppy will start here. And you start a fire with one hand. And yes, the blast match is much easier. It's another 40 bucks. But why when you have this? So this works fine. And again, think outside the box. I'm sure you guys can think of some different ways to do this. And it would be great. Go ahead and comment in the discussion down below. I'm going to stop here while this little cotton ball is burning out. If you like wilderness medicine, if you like some creative things, what we're doing here today, hey, like the video, subscribe. That would be awesome. You're going to hear about wilderness medicine, gear reviews, and surviving in the outdoors with two hands and one hand. The last trick I have here with one hand is basically how to open a knife with one hand. Now I realize a majority of knives out there with their clips that you have in your pocket, these basically can be opened just in a heartbeat. This is a fantastic knife. This is the Benchmade. It can be opened and closed with one hand. But let's say you have a favorite knife that doesn't have this ability, like the Benchmade or the Spyderco or the SOG. They make great knives. Let's say you have a favorite knife, like I'm using this Ranger SAK Swiss Army knife. One of the things you can do is you can tie a lanyard onto it, and then you're going to run this through the loop in your pants. You run this on here, goes right in your pocket, and you're not going to lose it. But then you have a nice fulcrum and your pant loop, and this is now your other hand. You can take this and hold it against that fulcrum, and now you can open your favorite knife with one hand, and it works really, really well. So nice little trick of the trade to open up your favorite knife, which can't be opened like a Benchmade or a Spyderco, and you can use that, and you won't lose it right there on your belt loop. That's it for today. Short video on what to do if you injure your hand in the outdoors. Remember to practice with your dominant and non-dominant hand. When you're watching TV or just sitting around, just practice it. Increase the muscle memory. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Keep your eyes on the horizon, your face to the wind. Keep practicing those survival techniques. We'll see you next time.